Well, hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dee from Dee Lovely Life, and I do some caregiving videos from time to time just so that I can share with you guys my journey or our journey. And, you know, I wanted to come on here and make a short video only because I know there are some of you who are caregivers, and the holidays can be such a difficult time. In some of my vlogs and Vlogmas currently that I'm filming, I kind of touched a little bit about being a caregiver and trying to balance it all with your stroke survivor during the holidays. And I know this is a very difficult time for some. Fortunately, I do have a great support system. I have my wonderful neighbor fam next door, and I have a group of friends and family. But you know, that took some time for their understanding to know how it is for our lives and what kind of schedule that we have. And there are times where they just have no clue. And I know there's some of you who totally get that. You know, just for those who aren't caregivers and you're watching this, to kind of give you a little bit of, you know, what goes on. It's like, you know, you don't get a full night's sleep. It's almost like having a newborn. You have to get up every so often and check on your survivor. And there's times where they can't sleep and they're uncomfortable, and, you know, you only get like 2 or 3 hours of sleep. You're exhausted, especially trying to maneuver everything during the holidays at this time. You're exhausted. I'm exhausted. Like this morning, I think I maybe have gotten about 3.5 hours of sleep, but I slapped on some makeup. I curled my hair yesterday because I knew I wouldn't have time this weekend. So, I mean, I'm trying to balance everything with house guests that are arriving, cleaning my house, you know, trying to get things ready for Christmas, and it's a lot. It's a lot. And not only for me, but it's also a lot for my mom, who suffered a massive stroke. You know, she's trying to keep up with everything. I'm trying to include her in with everything as possible. But you know, she has her bad days. We have our bad moments. I have my bad moments. But on vlogs and Vlogmas, like I'm currently filming, I'm filming everything that I can, you know, because I have to think of her privacy and her dignity. If you have your coffee and you have the luxury of having like an hour to yourself before your stroke survivor even wakes up, but the time that they wake up, it's like boom, you know, your whole day has to start. And then it's like making them breakfast, and then helping them do their own self-care, like grooming, brushing their teeth, getting things ready, vitals, administrating medication, and then setting them up for the day. If it's like speech therapy, physical therapy, if it's, you know, if they have appointments, or maybe they're having a bad day. You know, for me, I have to constantly, you know, shift my mom's body position. I have to change her. But there's those of you who have to deal with catheters. You have to deal with feeding tubes, injections. I mean, you know, the list goes on. And God forbid if they get sick, then you're spending your holidays in the ER or in a hospital or even a nursing home. And it's the holidays, right? I totally understand. I'm looking at my feeds in social media and my stroke care support group, and there's a lot of them out there. You just need to search for them and let yourself vent. You know, you're not alone. You're not alone. I mean, there are days where I feel the same way, especially when you're looking on Facebook and you're seeing everybody having a great old time. And then, you know, and then you're like, what happened? You know, some people are feeling excluded from their relatives because they feel like, you know, they're not going to invite you places because of your situation. So they just kind of exclude you. You know, it would be nice to get an invitation still, right? At least you have that luxury of saying, I'm sorry, you know, but thank you very much for inviting us. I really appreciate that, you know. But with my family, it took some time for them to understand what we're going through and what we deal with day by day. But there's still one of those, you know, ever so moments where they say, you know, oh, well, you should get more sleep. So easy to say, like, when am I going to get extra time to sleep like that? Or, you know, oh, you should do this, you should do that. And I'm like, do you know that I can't leave my mom? Like, and then oh yeah, you're right. You know, so I mean, sometimes They just don't get it. And it's so frustrating sometimes because I'm like, God, they just have no clue what we deal with on a day-to-day basis. And that's fine because they don't. They don't. Majority of the people in your family, your friends, you know, they don't. They don't understand it. And, you know, and that's okay. You got to remember that sometimes people just don't understand. A lot of them, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. They don't know if they should invite you, should not invite you, because they don't want you to feel, you know, burdened, that where you'd have to go, or stressed out, you know. And I got to remind myself about that, because there are functions that we don't get invited to anymore, that we're not even included. And my feelings do get hurt sometimes, but I gotta remember, you know, I gotta keep telling myself, well, even if they did invite me, would we go? Probably not. Probably not, to be honest, because then you'd have to think about your stroke survivor. You know, how are they? Is it too cold? Then you'd have to think, oh my God, I gotta get them prepared. You know, like when I take my mom out, it's a lot. It's a lot to get her ready, you know, because she's bedbound. So I'd have to change her. I'd have to bathe her. I'd have to clothe her. And then we'd have to bundle her up, make sure she's okay, make sure that, you know, she didn't drink enough liquids, you know, not too many liquids, if you get what I mean. And then, you know, and then the wheelchair time, you know, can she endure like so many hours in a wheelchair? Is she going to feel comfortable? Is she's going to be like, I want to go home, you know, because my mom has those bad days. She has bad moments. We all do. Even I do, you know. I get grouchy sometimes when I don't sleep because I just don't get enough sleep sometimes. But then there are days when I do get some downtime and I'll nap, I'll sleep or whatever. You know, my stepmom, I know she's worried about me and my rest. You know, she's always worried about, did you guys get sleep? Oh, maybe you need to get sleep. You know, oh, you need to get some sleep. It's like, how can I get sleep? And I know you other caregivers know that. Or when someone says, you just need to step away, you know. How am I going to step away? I mean, this is my job. This is my responsibilities. I know my father is also worried about me, and he's trying to be in a gentle way of, you know, you need to kind of live your own life. You can't have someone depend on you all the time in life. And I know what he's trying to get at. And, you know, but he doesn't understand the circumstances. You know, my mother and I have a certain type of bond, and I would never, you know, as long as I'm able, I will be there to help her. I will have her in our house, and that's just the way it is. And if people don't get it, they don't get it. And I mean, I get it. So I just kind of wanted to make a video here to just let you other caregivers know that, you know, it's not all merry and all that all the time, and that is fine. As long as you know what is important to you and your stroke survivor, and that's all that matters. You know, don't let other people get you down. It's just, it gets frustrating. It gets frustrating for me, and I'm sure it gets frustrating for others out there. But you got to also remember that it comes from their own heart. They're worried about you, or it does come from kindness. It's just that they just don't understand the situation that we're in. And only you, only we who are caregivers totally understand what I'm trying to say. And even though my vlogs and my Vlogmas seems very merry and happy, and I try so hard to balance everything, and sometimes it's just impossible, and I'm okay with that. Everything is not perfect. You know, the circumstances that we're in, it sucks. It does. It sucks. And sometimes it can be lonely. And sometimes, yes, I feel like I just want to cry. I want to vent. I want to scream. I want to just give up. But to me, I look at my mom. I look at the circumstances that she's in. And I know that must be the most difficult thing in the whole wide world to deal with. You know, having to experience a stroke and your world just changed, you know. And I have compassion, and I have empathy. I have just a clear understanding of what she's going through. And I just got to remember that, you know, this is the kind of life that we've been dealt with at the moment. But, you know, I'm going to try to make the best out of it. And that's just my attitude. I think it has a lot to do with the attitude. You know, it can really make you, or it can break you. And the holidays, the same thing. It can make you or it can break you. But just remember, you're not alone. Find a stroke care support group out there. There are so many out there. You know, even if it's just a friend to talk to, or, you know, just find that outlet that you need. And if you need to scream, scream in a pillow. Right? So, I don't know where I'm going with this. I just felt like I just needed to come on here and just tell you guys that I'm here and that I care and that I understand. Because I think that's so important that you realize that you're not the only one feeling this way in the holidays. There's a lot of emotions for me that are going up and down, you know. But I am trying to make the best of it. I am in a fortunate situation where, you know, I do have a support group like my neighbor fam, and I have my family and my sisters coming up. But, you know, but that took a while, you know. It's taking some time for me to find a groove and for everybody's understanding of it all. With that, you guys, I'm going to try to tell you guys to take some time. If it's self-care, if it's just closing your eyes for 5 minutes and just breathing, you know, or try to take those moments when they sleep, you sleep, you know. Go and try to read a couple of pages of a book. Go take a brisk walk. But if you can't get out, then find something that you can do inside your home, where if it's reading or if it's those damn coloring books or whatever. Anywho, I gotta go. Speaking of Mom, I gotta get back. My family are all getting together for lunch today. They were being considerate about my mom, and they wanted to do something more local to us. But because my mom's stroke, you know that sometimes they're up for it and sometimes they're not. And last night she didn't sleep very well. She was kind of coughing here and there, and she was hot, she was cold, she was hot, she was cold. That's another thing that caregivers understand. To be honest, I just want to spend some time with, you know, my dad and my stepsister and everybody, and not worry about my mom, because I just know it's going to be stressful on her. She's probably going to be too tuckered to do it, because we went out last night. We took her out to Olive Garden, and it's cold, and I don't want to keep taking her out every single day, because that's just going to be too much for her. This is something that I like to do just so that I can actually eat a hot meal and don't have to worry about cutting up her meat or, you know, wiping her mouth or stuff like that. You know, I just want to just be in the moment. I'm trying to give some of myself to my dad as well. You know, I got to think of my dad too. So it's all of a juggling act. I mean, you just got to work what's best for you. And hopefully people are just going to have to understand. You're going to have to tell them. And sometimes it's just, you have to be blunt. You can't just like dance around the whole subject. At least I don't. Sometimes I'm very blunt with my family. You know, I tell them what's up. I tell them, I can't do this. I can't do that. Who's going to watch Mom? Who's going to do that? You know, some people say, oh, well, I can watch your mom for you. Yeah, well, can you change your diaper? And then they'll go, exactly. So how are you going to help me out? I mean, yeah, you can help me out for like maybe an hour, but what can I possibly do in an hour? You know, I don't know, there's just all kinds of things that kind of can stress a caregiver out during the holidays. You know, I think it's just not an understanding of what we go through. And that's okay, because, I mean, how would they understand? You know, a lot of people don't get what we do, and there's schedules you got to follow, and there's routines, and, you know, no one's not going to know your routine. No one's not going to know your schedule. No one's not going to know how it is of being a caregiver. They just don't. You get those people, some people who go, oh, I'm so sorry, you don't have a life now. Or, you know, you really need to live for you. You shouldn't, can't you put her in a nursing home? I'm like, good God. I don't know. You get one way or the other. It's hard. I don't know. I just felt like I needed to get on here on this video and just kind of share it and just say, I totally understand. I understand how you can feel. And I'm reading posts, I'm reading people venting, and it's a difficult time, you know. Just breathe. We're almost done with the holidays. We're almost there. We're almost there. If there's anything that I can do, please reach out. I'm here for you guys. And I just hope that you guys are just taking care of yourself too. And I'm wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas.